G'day punters and welcome to the Wild West, brought to you by Betfair Australia. Bet harder, bet smarter, not harder. Crip, the weekend cow has obviously killed a few of my brain cells.
Yeah, it was good fun, wasn't it? We didn't set any records over the 2 days, but we backed some winners and we backed some losers, but yeah, more importantly, had a good time. Met some of the viewers that we have, so they've come up and said g'day, so it was,
Yeah, 3 viewers.
I think 100% strike rate.
Your mum, your dad.
So nah, all in all, it was a good week. Bit hard to get a beer, and I'm sure they'll be trying to rectify that next round, but other than that, yeah, no complaints. So let's do a quick recap of Saturday.
Let's get into it.
We'll start with the track. So I think probably both agree it was a typical Kalgoorlie track. It wasn't impossible to make ground, but definitely wanted to settle in the first 4 or 5. Which is, all you really can ask for a track is it sort of plays to the way it historically does.
Horses make ground when tempo allowed and class allowed, but just typical Kalgoorlie.
Yeah, it's a good track. So our bets.
Well, we kicked it off pink and purple. I was very bullish. I convinced the big fella to make it one of our origin bets as well. I had the impression that Stairway to the Moon and one other would probably roll forward and probably not necessarily go along at too strong a tempo, but a reasonable enough tempo. In the end, they've gone along at negative 40 lengths to the 6. Neg 40 lengths to the 600. So pink and purple is, as I said last week, an out-and-out stayer. As a horse that's going to go better over a journey when there's a bit of tempo in the race. And unfortunately, Kira and pink and purple didn't quite get that tempo this week. And the horse that we know that probably can't stay all that well was Bollinger Boy, sitting last and just absolutely laughing at the tempo.
He was sort of by the 1800 metre track gallop into the 400 metre sprint. So, and that's 40 lengths slower than benchmark after a mid-race move as well. So
that's with Ryan taking off on Frosty Hart in the race. So it makes it makes it difficult. There we got the prize, so the money came.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's after that. Was it about 15s into 3s or something?
Yeah.
No, 9s to about 6.
I think Matty Derrick's a really promising up and coming young apprentice, but look, just shows that she's an apprentice for a reason. And a clock in her head is saying that she's still gets coming to terms with. So she's not her best, but she'll live and
she's not going to get your ride of the week.
It won't get my ride of the week.
Top 3.
Yeah, so I did feel for you a bit. I thought pink and purple was the true star, and you didn't get that. But moving on,
2020. How many messages you got from me in there? I'll say 2020.
I don't even get a sook anymore. It's 2020.
Next up, Mr. Genoa and Beethoven got knocked out by Palmer Morenti. I think I would like to see going forward Mr. Genoa ridden with a bit of cover. I think this trying to be aggressive on a horse who doesn't step is just going to burn too much fuel early. So I'd like to see Mr. Genoa ridden with cover going forward. Beethoven
was
okay.
He was okay, beat less than a length.
Serviceable.
Yeah, Kira wasn't able to utilise the good gate like I hoped she was going to. She sort of tried to kick him out, and then and sort of just clipped heels at about 50 metres into the race, and he over raced a bit, and he ended up probably back where he would be if he drew wide. So yeah, she just appeared too far back in the run, and in saying that, the tempo was on. They went 6 lengths quicker than benchmark, so. It was suited for the back markers, and just not quite good enough on the day. But
little stat for those at home: Palmer Morenti won last year off 2 days, 2-day break. So obviously raced Hannon's Day the Thursday, Cup Day the Saturday, won off 2 days, and did the same thing again this year at about 60 to 1.
The run on Thursday
was
quite good as well.
Yeah, anyone that followed the 2-day form, good on them. Jag, a big Betfair SP winner there, and then we got the last winner, the combined.
Star Align. So both
didn't quite get the tactics.
It didn't run according to suit. I was quite keen to see Star Align. It's a real grind. I think we mentioned this on Thursday. Real grinding horse. Would have loved to have seen Kira somehow get off the fence and into the breeze, but she just wasn't able to. Jade crossed so quick on Durant's runner, and she got put in a pocket. And on the turn, I'd almost torn my ticket up. I was like, this is not how this horse is going to win.
I think I said you at the 6. Stay confident. I said something to you, but in my head I'm thinking we're cooked here. So.
And she went out, didn't get any luck, went back in, blocked, and then she went back in the second time, and somehow the seas parted. It was a really brave ride, actually. It's probably
Mr. Peter Fernie actually told her she could have driven a Metro through there, didn't he? Back at Canberra Lodge later in the proceedings.
After about 8 of his mid-strength stubbies and a bit of mayo on that, but.
The Eagles also won from memory in 1-1 too.
Hats off to Kira, because there was probably only really a half gap there, and she just put her head down and went through it and got the chockies and punters went home happy. So we got something out of the day.
We did get something out of the day. Your ride of the day, correct?
I'm going to go another flavour of last week and pick a ride that didn't actually win the race, but Troy Turner on
Divine Shadow.
Divine Shadow. He was sort of, this horse always steps slow away, ended up 3 back the fence, and he just sliced his way through the field on the turn, and he went from 3 back the fence to pretty much almost 1 or 2 lengths off him on the turn. Yeah, the horse wasn't good enough, but it was absolute 10 out of 10 from Troy Turner.
He couldn't have done any more, could he?
No, he couldn't have.
I'm going to go for a bit of a different style. It's not necessarily a great tactical ride, but if you were on special choice, a Cerise and White, big drifter as well, in the last, you would have been tearing your ticket over the 600. She looked under a fair bit of sufferance, but I love a jockey who just lifts the horse, chuck the stick in the left hand. CJP, Clint Johnston Porter, just willed her over the line. So I'm going to give it to a Paul Harvey-esque CJP ride in the last. Special choice.
He gets a few accolades, doesn't he? He's the
I do.
next Pike, now he's the next Paul Harvey, so CJP's riding well and he's he's doing something right, isn't he? So,
who are we following, crew?
I'm going to follow Star Align just because I thought the win, like I said, the race wasn't run to suit, and he can find a map next start where he can just really show his toughness and doesn't have to sprint through a gap. It'll be hard to beat again.
Noirdaroo for me, backed off the map, blinkers on. I reckon this was a Justin Warwick planned plunge on a Cal Cup after some ordinary efforts in the city. I reckon this is a planned plunge, and I reckon the horse will be breathing fire after not seeing daylight in the Cal Cup. So anything in town over 2,000 next start, I reckon we're going to be Noirdaroo.
I like it.
Let's get stuck in.
Yeah, that's the cow round done and dusted for another year, and with great pleasure, I'd like to announce we are back at Ascot. So it's feel like it's been a bit of a long time coming, and look, the weather gods haven't let us down. It's low 20s, not too much wind around. We're going to be on a good 4. Rails at 3 metres, and look, I'm pretty excited. What about you?
I'm very excited. We had Chrissy Nation on the podcast this morning, the 1-1 WA Racing podcast with BJ Ryan. Make sure you tune in. Really, really interesting interviewing Chris this morning. He's the track manager at Ascot. He's one of, if not the best curator in Australia, I'd say. Absolutely no knowledge on the other one, so I've got nothing to base that on whatsoever. But I'm going to go with it, mainly because I thought he was a cracking bloke too. But in years gone by, they've started at the 3-metre pad, and it just played tremendously fair, straight up. So I'm personally going in with the fairest of fair tracks in mind, tempo horse related.
Yep, no, I agree with you.
Okay.
So. All right, race 1. I think we can kick off the season with a winner. I think we are in agreement. The horse we're looking
8 units, Origin?
Yeah, we'll be.
Betfair Origin?
Because it's the only one we agree on, I think, over the rest of the card. So we're going to, chips in early.
You tell them why.
All right, that's Lord Lonsdale, now in the hands of Kieran McDonough. It's only had the 1 run. I thought it was a really good effort. It was in a high rating fair. The format of that race is really good. It's the horse like End of an Era and Dart Mission, Smile for Me, come out of it, and run really good. But the key here is it's had 2 trials since. One was earlier in the year and one was a couple of weeks ago. And he's been able to lead in both those trials, and he just looks like, to be honest, he looks a bit like a Cockney Crew or a Lonsdale lady.
I said that on the podcast this morning.
And I'm not sure if I get sucked into the pink colours.
I 100% do. Yeah, 100%.
He's another one, he's by Machino.
Did you like when Chloe hit him, he responded?
Yeah.
He hasn't shown me once with the stick, but she hit him with the stick and he responded really strongly.
Yeah,
so
they were sort of, in this most recent trial, they were coming at him, and she gave him
just the one hit.
Gave him one on the backside, and he just took off again.
We all like one on the backside, let's be honest. We're still talking about our couch.
First up over 1400. He looks like a horse that would, he'd probably get over a bit of ground. Finds a race. There isn't a heap of speed, and to be honest, there isn't a heap of class in this race.
This is the only horse with X Factor.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the only horse with X Factor. What have you marked him?
I had him $2.50.
Great minds.
Yeah,
$2.50.
Yeah, okay.
The 340's plenty.
Anything over $3 is more than enough. And spoiler alert, he's my best of the day.
From a money point of view, it's hard to see where else it can come as well. Like, he really is the standout X Factor horse. And Chloe's only ridden 1 from 81 this season. She's gone pretty slowly this season. This is her bread and butter type ride. Get forward, roll them along. Use that kilo and a half she gets. So,
in fairness to Chloe, she's had 14 seconds. So I think, we were a punter and we've had 1 winner in 14 seconds.
Sounds like our Origin.
Would be saying the V word. So I don't think she's riding poorly. She's just been done on the line a couple of times. She got
the V word. That took me a second.
That took me a second. Not that word, but variants for the listeners out there. So keep it above the belt. But yeah, look, I think in true Ascot style, we can. It'd be right to kick off the season with a leader who gets the job done. So,
yeah, let's do it. Very, very, very close to my best as well. I just want to mix it up, so we'll go to something else.
Yeah.
My best is in race 4, which we will skip to. Crip. I am really quite excited about Red Hot Tip being ridden aggressively. This is a horse who won a Lex Piper and then came out and ran second to Tuscan Queen. Sorry, Mel Vista, and then came out and ran second to Tuscan Queen. When ridden against usual pattern, missed the kick, had to settle last, was beaten a long way, Tuscan Queen, but showed a bit of class in the fact that he could finish the race in that manner. Expecting him to lead, potentially cops pressure from a horse called Mafeking, who's racing a mile out of his grade after winning a maiden last start. But he actually ran the second quickest, last 200 metres behind Inspirational Girl at his most recent outing. So for a horse whose major attribute will be rolling forward and basically just outstaying him from the top, for me at nearly $10, he is the best each way bet of the day by a long way. Plenty of respect for Truly Great, but and I do have Truly Great marked as favourite, $2.50 to $4 of Red Hot Tip, but Truly Great's going to be back last and going to have to do the chasing, and we know that can be difficult at Ascot at times, so you'd be pretty brave diving at the $1.90.
Yeah, definitely. Now, I think I wrote in my notes, I didn't really want to play this race, but I said whoever is brave enough to take the initiative, there's no speed in this race, so whoever can find the front and dictate might pay dividends for him. So if that horse is Red Hot Tip, then yeah, I reckon you'll get a good side each way. The funny thing you did mention that Mafeking, huge.
You notice there's a 1500 metre race, because this is a 62 rate and a 72 plus. There is a 1500 metre race that's a 60 plus. Carries 54 here, would carry 55 in that. If it wins this, he'll get 14 points.
Yeah, so it doesn't make a lot of sense.
No, it doesn't make it, unless they think it's a carnival horse and they want the points.
Yeah,
get a bang straight in there.
No, I'm not sure, but yeah, he was one that I actually wanted to follow off his maiden win because he punched 3 deep into that really strong headwind. But like Terry said,
this is the best of having class.
Yeah, you don't see many maidens go straight to a 72 plus, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes. Maybe
Whipsaw back in the day.
Yeah, maybe
preferred a few positives after that though.
Maybe the stable knows more than we don't. It might be an early double for the Kieran McDonough camp, hopefully.
Could well be. Red Hot Tip each way is my best.
Very good.
Alright, where are we on to? Race 6.
Race 6, so I've already shown my hand and said who my best was, but this...
Close second?
Yeah, this is a close second. So the horse I'm talking about is Tycoon Storm. Look, to be honest, she probably should have been undefeated at her last 3. She's won 2 of them, and in the one in between those 2 wins was held up for a fair way in the straight and got within a length. I just love the map here. There's going to be good speeds. You've got Butterly Lad leading. You've got Peppy Jack coming across. And I think those 2 will go reasonably hard. And it just looks so perfect for Brad Parnham to do what he did last start and just come over and just land straight in the 1-1. From there...
That was some ride last start,
wasn't it? It was, yeah. That was a harder ride. That was like he was drawn 9 of 9 and now he's drawn 7 in a capacity field, so sort of midfield. I think he's just going to blend in just behind the speed, get cover, and yeah, this horse is... She's just a winner. She's 5 wins from 9, should have been 6. So she's got the figures. She's going to be on pace at Ascot. She's just a real box ticker for mine. And it's a competitive race, but anything over $4, I'm pretty keen to get involved.
I think the one thing we can agree on here is we want to probably take on Notorious One. What's about $370, $380, $4 I think in the market at the moment. From the widest gate, a horse with a lot of issues, up in class. It's going to have to go past all of these, you'd suspect. So if he chews up 30% of your market late and is even supported or whatnot, geez, I'm really happy betting around him. Not as big as Crip on Tycoon Storm. I do like Expressionist. I think it's the one with the most improvement in it. Do worry where Expressionist gets from 3 back the fence with Lucy on it. Could be a difficult ride, could be a Noir to retake too type experience, but I'm ambitiously hoping I can Dutch the pair, because I do think the winner comes from Tycoon Storm and Expressionist. I'm hoping I can Dutch the pair for $2.50, but that's pretty ambitious. We'll see what Betfair does late. Hope for money, Notorious One, off we go, and potentially a horse like Devoted Star.
Yeah. Expressionist was a horse I actually last week made my horse to follow, and when I saw it drew barrier 2, I got really excited. This was on Wednesday, and I said, here we go. I'm just surprised that Chris Parnham's not riding. He's elected, well, I'm not sure if he's elected.
Or Clint at least.
it looked a CP or a CJP horse, but yeah, Lucy from Three Back the Fence, it's going to need a bit of luck. And,
Right.
Yeah, and anyone from Three Back the Fence at Ascot's going to need a bit of luck. So yeah, if Expressionist had probably, if Chris Parnham was on it and had drawn a little bit wider, would have been nearly equal favourite in my market. But because it's going to be at that spot, it's heavy lean towards Tycoon Storm. And just what you said about Notorious One, the fact that a horse like that who gets back, does a lot wrong, he's drawn barrier 14 at Ascot and he's in the market sub $4, he's just probably just sums up why I like Ascot so much. Because a horse like that, if it wins, well, good on it, but these are the ones I've marked Notorious One $12 and really keen to take on horses like that.
We both love horses that chew up market percentage. What did you have Notorious One price?
Yeah, $12.
$12. I had it close to 10. So it's a horse that you just love seeing horses like that in the market that just chew up percentage. So at the moment you're talking 125%. I reckon the way Tycoon Storm's been drifting, the fact that I still suspect Notorious One won't drift too heavily, and there will be money for Expressionist too, I still think you'll see the right price Tycoon Storm late.
Yeah.
So good one to jump on the exchange for, guys.
All right, now we'll go to race 7. Not a betting proposition, in my opinion, anyway. But
as an enthusiast,
it is. If you like your horse racing, you've really got to make sure you set the alarm and not miss this contest because we see the unbeaten Boom filly Clairvoyance step back out after 3, or especially 2 really dominant victories throughout the winter. How did you
map? It's all about the map here, Dan. What do you reckon? My thoughts would be if I was a Charlton Eddie connection, I would be saying why on earth would we hand up when we've drawn underneath the 2 other quick ones. So Charlton Eddie's the horse that's only defeat actually came against Gemma's Son, and I would be telling Paddy Carberry to ride its little ears off and try and hold the top and utilise that inside pad. So Gemma's Son, with David Harrison's publicly come out earlier. He used a little popcorn gift. One of my favourites. I like the popcorn gift. And he said, Bull, I want the top. We want the top with Gemma's Son with the Pontiff back on and hits him hard, just like CJP does, actually. And then you got Clairvoyance, who is known as probably one of the quickest fillies in the first couple of 100. In Perth in her short career to date, so just intriguing stuff. What will happen up top here? I initially thought they might look to take a sit-in with Gemma's Son and let Clairvoyance come across and park on the outside of Charlton Eddie, but there's a million different ways you can map this race. All I know is they're going to go hard, and all I know is I wouldn't be going near the $1.60 Clairvoyance. I don't think she's got the numbers. I mean, what are the numbers telling you?
Huge, yeah.
This is a numbers race in that sense type thing. But I mean, how do you have this mapped?
To be honest, I saw Tab Touch went up before I'd started. They went up at 1 p.m. yesterday, so I hadn't actually had a look at them when I saw the odds, and I knew that I wasn't going to bet around Clairvoyance, but I don't take $1.70 from any horses at all, let alone a horse like this. So it looks a sticky map. So I'll probably look at this race for 5 minutes max. So don't have a heap of opinion. Definitely won't be betting into it, but really keen to watch how it unfolds.
If the 3 of them cook each other up front, I'll be having something late on Rain of Fire, who should get the $10 plus. Hasn't got the numbers these do, but if the 3 of them make a mess of each other, we saw how good he is. So
we just see how Darren McAuliffe has spoken about Clairvoyance in the past. He's so, I don't want to use the word arrogant, but he's so bullish on how fast she is. He'll be sitting back listening to David Harrison, I reckon, laughing that he thinks that he'll be leading with Gemma's Son.
One thing about Chris Parnham though, and this is something that wins him a lot of races, don't take this as a criticism, but Chris, if he doesn't look like he's going to get there, on a lot of occasions he takes a hole and looks for a spot tactically. Clairvoyance does that. You wouldn't want to be on it probably $2.50, would you? Negating one of her greatest strengths. So it wouldn't surprise me to see Chris come out and even, I don't know, have to look for a sit on the back of a Gemma's Son in the breeze with Charlton Eddie, or I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
No, I'm not sure. It'll be. All I know is it'll be a great watch. So nothing from us, but cracking stuff. Race 8, Crip.
Just want to quickly touch on race 8. I think there's one. I'm not sure about this price, but this is again similar to race 6, where we had a horse like Notorious One who was in the market but going to be right back. I think Real Grace has come up favourite. Drawn barrier 16 over 1,000 metres, so it's not much of a run to that first tight turn. Just going to be so hard. I know she's good, but it's going to be so hard to win. Some of the other fences in the market will also be back and wide, which leaves me with Shan Talk. She's Russell Stewart trained filly, just had the 2 starts. There's always been a bit of a spruik around her. Dominant winner on debut, then came out and ran a really good second behind Dunbar, one of the Peters horses. Recent trial was really sharp. from barrier 1, which is a massive advantage over the 1,000 metres at Ascot, these inside draws over that distance, probably one of the more profound advantages in WA.
Not much speed in this either.
No, there's not, except for Copper Fury. So I think she will either lead or sit on the back of Copper Fury, and especially if the track's playing like a normal Ascot track where the rail might be hot or it's hard to make ground, I reckon she'll give a huge sight. She's about $5 or $6 at the moment, and probably my third play of the day.
Yep. No, I can see that. Real Grace, as dominant as that win and how the margin of victory, you got to have a look at was Casino War. She's a booter who came from near last, who have run second and third. So if I went out there on foot, I'd probably beat those two home. So from 19, Chris Parnham's going to have to put in some type of ride. The King of Cowluke, or the Prince of Cowluke, got Miss Frost, who obviously flew fresh. If you want to see a win, beat nothing again, watch Miss Frost's first start win last campaign off a year and a half off, or whatever it was. That was something else. So, but that's going to come down to rides as well, and the advantage of going with a horse like Shantork. I'm not personally going to be playing, but the advantage of going on a horse like Shantork is you've got field position on horses that need to make ground over 1,000. So the only other run I want to quickly touch on was River Bow. Horrible first up, 2 trials either side against great horses. Stage Man, Essential Spice, probably out trialled them. Really good. I'm going to use a bit of forgiveness. $9 at the moment doesn't get me, but I'm expecting River Bow more aggressive. We can say $15 plus late on Betfair. Little spec for me.
Yeah, okay.
If we get the price.
Again, just a horse, I'm just not sure where it gets from the draw.
Yeah, it's going to be sticky. I'm hoping a horse like Pink and Grey from 13 comes across, leads on a 3 wide line, jump on the back of that. And look, I'm going to need the price, but I love it opening day when you're not sure how the track's going to play exactly to really shop for the value. And I think it's a great day. It really is. And obviously we're doing this for Betfair, but I genuinely believe it's a great day to hop on the exchange late. But these capacity fields, you get some madness prices because you have to get 16 horses into 100%. So you get some crazy numbers late. So don't be afraid to back a drifter.
And that's why I'm not too sure with the Shantork price. I've marked her $3.60, but I'm umming and ahhing about the $5.50 that's available. So probably might even have half on now and then just wait and see what the exchange does late.
I actually said on the podcast earlier, if it does play on pace or the rail plays good, Shantork starts favourite.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think that's the way it'll work.
Yeah.
So you can probably get a feel by that stage of proceedings.
Yeah, and just want to touch on one as well, which will go around massive odds. Shackleton resumed off a really long let up last start. Nothing went right. I think Sean O'Donnell actually lost his irons out of the gates, and that's why he just went straight to the back of the field. Anyway, regained his composure, hit the line really nicely. Trial before that was good.
Very good.
Best form is good. I know he's obviously got issues because it's been such a while between runs, but I think he's close to 20s now. Probably trades a lot longer than that. He's one just to chuck in the quad. I just wanted to mention that. So next week when he wins, and probably about Shantork, I can at least crow about it.
It's the exact type of horse that in a 16 horse field they often fit into 100%. You probably get 50 to 1 about late, you know. So plenty of value. There's always a $50 winner on opening day. I made that up. I don't know. I just made that up. The lucky last. There's one I don't mind here at a bit of a price. This is an amazing little speed map. You've got Pulley from barrier 2. This will test you from 13 up to the 1200, which has to be a massive question mark on a quick horse, but not necessarily a horse that's blessed with a heart the size of Far Lap. And Cliffs of Comfort, who's drawn the outside gate. Those 3 should ensure this is a cracking tempo, but those 3 should also be potentially gasping for air at about the 100 crib. So I'm going to look at a horse who I'm hoping can settle in a 3 wide line, and I have no doubt will run the quickest last 2 if given any type of clear air, and that's Naughty by Nature. I thought the trial was one of the better trials that I've seen in the last few months. The horse that ran second to Some Sort came out and won at Kalgoorlie last week. First up effort on debut was huge behind Baby Blues Adelaide Ace. First up effort last campaign, won with an absolute leg in the air, defeating Swordguard, I think it was that day. They were both over 1400. This is 12. I'd probably declare this over 1400. Over 12, need a lot to go right, but I've marked Naughty by Nature $11, so at around 20s and $6 a hole. That's a great each way bet for the last of the day for me.
Yep, no, fair enough. Won't argue with you there. Like you said, 1200. 1200 is a huge query. I know the stable will have a really big opinion of this horse. Looking forward to see what she does over further, but she probably is a stayer, so might be finding these a little bit too sharp. But if, like you said, if they overcook it and she gets a nice card in the 3 wide line, she probably is worth a small bet at 20 to 1 or so. But yeah, I'll be staying out. This race took me about an hour to do. I reckon.
Yeah, it took me an hour. It's just a nightmare, wasn't it?
It's huge. Capacity field. I marked it $5 favourite. Yeah, no real interest. If we've gunned ahead, I'd say maybe a horse like Purely could
Sit?
Yeah, good box seat. Won really well at Pinjarra once when it didn't lead, so you can take a sit and win, even though we were pretty disappointed that Sean O'Donnell handed up to Villanova last start. But yeah, can take a sit at $10. If it's the rail's hot, might box seat and yeah.
Is it the rating for Villanova for that?
Yeah, 100. Yeah,
Jeez.
Winter bottom. Lockie Taylor's got his flying.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Lockie Taylor, he is flying, isn't he? All right, Crip, your best was
Lord Lonsdale in first. We're going to get the season off to a bang.
Yeah, that's probably very close to mine, but we'll keep it different. We'll go with Red Hot Tip in the fourth, somewhere near $10. I've marked it $4. So I've marked it considerably short. I don't think Zero Merits will get the mile. I didn't mention that earlier either, so queries on whether that will occur. Yeah, pretty happy with that. Love the card. It's a good aesthetic card as well as a betting card. So,
yeah, exactly.
As I said before, don't be afraid to back a drifter late. You're going to get some big prices, especially in these last couple of races for horses who maybe shouldn't be the quote they get to, and that's why we love the exchange. They paid $30 top tote and $70 Betfair SP. So
hashtag they knew.
Hashtag they knew. Exactly right.
All right, that's it for the Return to Ascot podcast.
On track?
No, I won't be there on Saturday. You going?
I'll be there.
Okay, well, make sure you go say hello to Terry.
You're not going to be there?
Yeah, I know. It's well, there's plenty of time over the summer to get to Ascot.
Yeah,
so
there is.
really looking forward to the spectacle. But make sure if you're ever going to tune into the 1-1, this is the week to do it because, like Terry said before, Chris Nation is on. I'm actually really looking forward to what he has to say because track bias is probably the one of the big talking points in racing at the minute, and something that I find I put a lot of time into it, but I can never seem to quite work it out. So
that's why we're happy to do this.
Other than that, as always, jump on to cripsracing.com if you want to see more of my stuff. Otherwise, until then, gamble responsibly.